Hello, my name is Logan Clementi. Here's my ID card if I had one. Lost my wallet, don't know where it is. You know who I am, Mr. Charles. This video today is a project for my homicide class at Seminole State College. If you somehow found this video by accident and believe it to be something that will help you commit homicide, please close this video and leave now. This is not that kind of tutorial. Look somewhere else, please. So, today's topic is a specific spree killer named Anders Behring Breivik. You may not have heard of him as it was a killing overseas in Norway, but even I was surprised after reading about what he did that I don't even remember hearing about him when it happened. So, on July 22nd, 2011, Anders killed 77 people and injured 319 others in Norway. This is possibly one of the worst, if not the worst, mass killings in our history as a world. These attacks are known today as the 2011 Norway attacks. First, he entered a government corner in Oslo, specifically in a town I'm not even going to try to name, because it's got like 13 letters, a bunch of K's, and I would butcher it. No pun intended. So, first thing he did was he placed a van bomb, which is exactly what it sounds like, a bomb inside of a van, and he exploded that, which killed 9 people. He then put on a pre-prepared police uniform and a pre-forged ID badge to enter an island. So what he did is he went on a ferry and went to the island called Utoya. On this island at the time, there was a summer camp going on. The summer camp was for the Workers' Youth League, which is the largest youth political organization in Norway. Now, if you look into this organization, you realize that it's a bunch of socialists. I definitely understand, trust me, I understand the hate of socialism and all that, but not even these kids deserved what was happened next. He went onto the island claiming that he was doing a check because of the recent bomb that went off in the city, which he had planted himself, but they didn't know that at the time. And when all the kids came around, he just started opening fire. He kept shooting. Kids tried to play dead and go on the ground and swim, but this guy was vicious. He just kept laughing and he kept shooting. He killed 69 of these kids, the youngest being 14, and injured hundreds of others. Out of the 300 or so that he shot and just injured, about half of them ended up being in critical condition. He's one of the many sick people in this world. Want to know more about him and his life and how the trial went? Stay tuned for segment 2. Hey guys, it's me again. Here's segment 2. I know most of you probably watching are wondering, hey, why isn't he changing shirts? Why isn't he changing suits or hats? Well, that's because I'm kind of lazy today, and I really like this shirt. I did change ties for you, and I changed cufflinks. You see, before I had Islanders one, now I got the Republican ones representing. But anyways, let's get on to segment 2 of this video. I'm going to be talking more about Anders and his life and how the trial went. So Anders was born in February of 1979. That makes him 39 years old today. He was 32 at the time of the attacks. When he was 4 years old, he had 2 reports filed against him by psychologists that expressed concern for his mental health, and they also suggested he be removed from the care of his mother. One report noticed his smile was more of a response to his environment, not any emotions he was feeling at his time. The other claimed that his mother abused him, both physically and mentally. She would constantly hit him and yell at him that she wishes he would die, which is kind of messed up in my opinion. As a teenager, his behavior was said to be very rebellious and rude. He expressed a very strong dislike for feminists, liberals, and anything to do with socialism. I can relate to that, but I don't think I would have killed people. He would always go around with his friends doing graffiti, but he took it extremely seriously. He would go until the cops showed up and put him in handcuffs. When he was arrested is actually when he decided to cut ties with his father. He claims that his father cut ties with him, but his father claims that he did it. We don't really know. But that shows us that his father was absent most of his life since his parents got divorced when he was 1 year old. Now, let's get to his college life. In college, he was described to be a very smart and intelligent kid, and a defender of those who were bullied. He was very strong compared to the other students. He often obsessed about his looks, and to look better to himself, he underwent cosmetic surgery, he spent his free time all on weight training, and he took steroids. Later on, he was also said to be exempt from service to the military in Norway for unannounced reasons by the Norway Department of Defense. All of this seems to be adding up. All of these are factors that commonly contribute to an evil mind. But let's go on. At 21, he began working with the customer service area of the company. He was always kind to everyone, unless he thought that they were of Middle Eastern or South Asian origin. He hated those people. But besides that, he was very kind. At 23, he decided to found his own computer programming company to start funding the attacks that he would commit 9 years later. This shows it was premeditated. But a year later, at 24, after making $300,000, he declared bankruptcy. In 2009, he wanted to do the attacks, so he attempted to buy the weapons illegally. He failed. Instead, he went the legal route and bought a Ruger Mini 14, which is a semi-automatic hunting rifle, and a semi-automatic 9mm Glock, which also, for those of you who don't know, is a semi-automatic pistol. He avidly played Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and World of Warcraft to train himself. I think it's kind of funny that he played World of Warcraft since that's a fantasy game. You guys can even all ask Mr. Charles, who is an avid, but very casual World of Warcraft gamer. It's a pretty dumb way to train. It would never work. After all this, he started a farming company so he could obtain fertilizer. He needed this fertilizer for the bomb. He ended up buying 6 tons of it just to make sure he could have enough and could do test runs. He bought the primer online from Poland. The government was alerted of this, but at the time they deemed it not a threat, so they didn't investigate. So after all this happened, after about 90 minutes on the island shooting at kids and shooting bodies twice to make sure kids weren't playing dead, the police finally arrived and he surrendered. Peacefully, they arrested him. During his trial, which lasted 2 months, he was deemed insane, and that he was insane during the time of the shootings. A lot of people didn't think this was true because of what he did, so the court decided to bring in a second group of psychologists. The second group of psychologists deemed him sane during the shootings and before, and that's what the court accepted. The court ended up convicting him of the crimes and said he was indeed sane. He was sentenced to 21 years, which is the maximum in Norway. This seems weird, but the only way you can get life sentence is for certain military crimes. But how they get around that is the maximum is a minimum of 10 years incarcerated, plus penalties if they're deemed unsafe for society. So luckily, this guy will probably rot in jail for the rest of his life, which I think is good. I would personally rather see him killed for the 6 things he's done, but I'll take prison for life as a second. Since then, he's still alive in prison, he's isolated, and he's constantly transferred between 2 prisons to reduce stress on the guard, since he is considered a terrorist for what he did in Norway. That they consider that kind of murder terrorism, which I think is good. It's not any of this workplace violence bullcrap we see here in America. So since then, he sent a list of really, really stupid demands for a prisoner that would never happen here in the U.S. He demands that he gets a view of the outside, that he becomes unisolated, he gets a new reading lamp, and that the PlayStation 2 in his room is replaced with the PlayStation 3 because there's more games on the PlayStation 3. I personally hope he gets none of those and that he dies a horrible life in prison. Alright guys, thanks for watching, but I do want to do a quick disclaimer. Even though I added a lot of humor to my project just to make it more entertaining, these shootings are really not funny. They're very serious and should be taken that way. So thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends.